right, so we just came out of there. We talked about the information about uh, they call it Audius and what Audius was for, and I get the meaning and from it, what it had for him to do with. It had to do with the it had to do with a psychic medium versus of a vigor in military punishment and exercise. It's some type of exercising. And it had to do the information. It had to do with abuse of power, signs of a light. You know, it's a message because the message needs to be seen about abuse of power, and meaning that the sin of abuse of power had to do with the sin of wages of death. It has to do very important to not to be used and abused, but for you to make sure. Okay, we're talking about Scorpio moon rising. Okay, now I went in about the movies of Equalizer, so I'm just giving out the information that I was given about that, and it had to do with justice and oppression. But remember, this particular Scorpio moon rising got to do with isolation. It's the date of creative of isolation. This particular Scorpio don't do nothing but be isolated. Sometimes I say it has something to do, they know too much and stop their own self and keep them in isolation all the time. But remember, if a psychic medium is not with the people or connecting to a certain sort of hidden things, and you're not with them and you go against them, then they gonna go against you. Remember, I said that about a psychic medium because they know a lot, and some things they want you to keep hidden, and sometimes it's here to be out here, divine purpose to be a light out here, and they don't like that. And sometimes you may be in trouble, so exercising from other people because you know too much. You know, when you're too much, you're just too much. And if you ain't with them, you going against them. It's like a spiritual warfare battle within of a falling of who's going to be the king and who's going to be the emperor. Like I said, you could be the same people looking at you behind the scenes. They be looking at you, laughing at them. Behind, they still like, oh, you still going to do this anyway? Then I say you either, they going to tell you what sort to go and which one you to go. Remember, they ain't going to be in the scene to do it. They're going to do behind it. It means whatever military rats that they do, rat has to do with something hidden. And a rat is always somebody going to sit here and tell it. And like I say, when they doing negative things, man, they don't do nothing. They eat their own tail. You know why? Because they going to talk about each other. I say, you ain't got nothing to do. These people don't have time to do anything. So what, they getting paid for nothing but watching you? Because even if you isolated, knowing that your divine purpose to be out here to be the light, and you so busy inside, guess what? They'll figure out what you're doing inside, what you're doing inside your own house. They'll listen what the hell you saying. That means they got some type of what we call that I'm gonna get a card right here. I know I'm gonna talk about it. This got to do with let me see if I got it. It's probably gonna, it got to do with the P word. You know, P got to do with hidden things. Number 16. P's is 16s, I believe. And them P words got to do with paranera, paranoma. Okay. Is anybody in your isolation? That got something to do with your hiddenness, your own home. That means, like I said, home has to do with anything that you build something. It could be in your own entrepreneur business. It could be your individual, who you are, of your subconscious. It could be your family, okay, subconscious. That means paranormal, okay. It could be in your friends, paranormal. Also, it can be in your community. And that means have to do with somebody has some type of experience or experiences of anything that has to do with some straight up born intelligent. That got also can do with what else with that oh, poltergeist. Is that poltergeist? I think poltergeist was in the 80s. But they got a movie called Paranormal Activity that has to do with these movies. And if they doing that, they have some intelligence. And baby, this is something a long time ago. And some things are hidden. Like I said, if an isolation of a psychic medium, if they're not with you, then you're going against them. And some things they don't want you to know about what they doing behind the scenes. And then you in here telling her information, they ain't like that. But the point of it is not to be abusive of power of individuals that are gifted, and not to be subconscious all the time because they scared because they didn't said something and they came for you. You didn't understand that. But if the intelligence that they need, let me say this. In a point of time, I knew before I've been gifted as a child. But it was at a point in time I always thought it was a little gift and just to be myself. But hell, I didn't know. Just being by yourself is hell. You come and get these people are they get mad about it, expose their asses, who they really are. They get mad. They want to fight. Hell, I was like, hell, I didn't even know I was. Wait a minute. Hell, I didn't even know I was in a fight. Now this is Scorpio, and if you resonate in Scorpio, this got to do with you. Hell, you don't even know you is in a war with somebody. You didn't even know you had another another opponent that is coming against you, and you don't even know the hell. You didn't even know you was in a fight. That's about these. I'm telling about Scorpio, moons, hidden things, subconscious things, and hell, you after the fact who you are, and you be surprised some of the things that you say, then your ass is in this damn hidden in isolation because you're scared now because hell, you done seen something. Now your ass is in the house now. You scared as hell because you don't want to be out here exposing of things that's been hidden, and you're here divine purposely, and to be out here spoken out here. Now you're scared. And then now you don't know what's good. Is it divine or is it they asses that is doing paranoid activity with your ass because because you don't even know which one is. You don't wait a minute. You don't know is divine or is the the other opponent that come against your ass about your subconscious of what you know being a psychic medium. Now you don't even know which one it is. You don't know if it's the Most High or is it the people that's coming against your ass because of your psychic mediums. Gifts has been chosen, selected with your Akashic records, with your ancestry, and that means your family. Good luck, baby. I know you're going through something, but I'm laughing. I mean, I'm laughing with you. I ain't coming against you. I'm laughing with you. You know, being a person that, like I say, I smiles. It's like the movie I told you about. The movie that I just was talking about here about training day. You in a time of training. So either you are being trained with divine, or you with the opposing of the opponent of your spiritual warfare battle. Ooh, either you in training, baby. That's what I'm trying to say. Then I had to laugh, baby, without crying. Ooh, I tell you, it's real out here. I'm telling you, it's something else. I'm telling you about the information about Scorpio. Scorpio is something else. They know. Sometimes don't cause the problems when you can't be out in the light now. Come out the light. Stay out. I mean, too much dark, hell. You stay in there too much, you end up being just like them. Like I said, negative. Let's talk about these negative and projecting. If a person, baby, then the wind has started and the flowers are blowing in the air communication, meaning I'm doing my purpose. If a negative projecting on another person, remember we're talking about that narcissistic. NARS has to do with a narcotic. Narcotic got a person that's constantly got to be narcotic. Okay, that means they got their ways to keep themselves doing something to harm other people. Remember, we all came out living, regardless of what we do in this world. Now, that mean a positive thing. Now, I'm saying it got to do with the devil too. Now, I'm in here trying to tell you, I can say this ain't got nothing to do with no dang on devil hell, okay? Ain't got nothing to do with no pig. Now, this got something to do with an individual that had a choice to do whatever they do in this life, positive, negative. Okay. I don't know who told you what the devil is, a ghost. Then I guess your ass is the one that's hidden. Because that's who you are. If you hidden it, a ghost is something you can't see, right? That means you hidden behind your devilness, what you're doing behind the scene. This is still about an individual, positive, negative. Now, when you're dealing with a person that's already came to light, they came out of womb, they was already light anyway. But if they came out all the time, and in order for them to do the things negative, they have to have some type of narc. That means some type of cocaine, alcoholic, something over abusing to keep them numb so they can constantly do something and harm another. Because we're understanding when you do something wrong in this living being of a human, you can't do too much negative too much without it coming against your own self. All right? I'm saying, Most High, He know what He doing. Now, I'm saying, hey, you got to have some type of narcotic in order to do it. With these individuals, negative, they come against the empaths, and empaths got to do with light. Negative have to do with dark. That's all we've been talking about ever since he started. Ain't nothing new up under the sun. It's a recording and ain't nothing new. Only thing he did was fill up a cup and overflow it was over what? It fill of all a cup of sin. Biblically, okay? And when it comes down and pours up, it's like the wrath. So what pours out is all kinds of stuff. You know how much that is? This is like recording. That's over like 4 times. Like, woo-wee. That's a time of age. That's alone. That's 11 times what? 7 times 7 is 21. 7 times 4 is 28. Right? 2 and 8, it has to do with intuition. It has to do with strong. 8 and 10 is 10. This got to do with free. This got to do with biblical. It would be jubilees. Okay? That means was free. This come by Daniel and dreamers, okay? Then I started out with Daniel. Daniel had to do with the dreams coming out of Egypt. Egypt got to do with all with Babylons. They have to do with all kinds of things. This has got to do with truth. Unveil of hunt of individuals of what? Of light and dark. This is a war, spiritual warfare about subconscious and conscious. Hidden things, occult, impure, empath of light. Empress too. I'm outside. The wind is blowing. And they're the crow. Crows is what you supposed to, that's earth. Fowl, they listen. Do you? Are you supposed to be nature like they are? Or are you supposed to be something else? Come on, somebody. Are you supposed to use of your natural instincts of a psychic, of mediums that's been given? Now, let's get on here. Number 15 is the number for the day. But number 4 is number Emperor. Emperor got to do about business. achievements, constantly, divine, okay, principalities of earth, power. Now we're talking about emperor now. Now, emperor is isolation for what reason, I don't know, but just let's get on here. If I'm going to be individual of a person, this isolation, that is a Scorpio and moon rising, and they got to do with the number 4 is an emperor. This is about somebody that has that, okay? This for somebody. But number 15 has to do with Capricorn too. And Capricorn, it has the person to be it's supposed to be outside, okay? Meaning individual is an entrepreneur that needs to be outside to be seen, not to be in isolation now. And remember, and now that you got the yellow butterfly, you got the transformation. Now, I already talked about what happened with the tower around January, and they were so glad that that tower fell. So everybody got up to do things it's supposed to. And nature gonna tell you everything that's going on in this world, regardless of what you going on in this world of the soul, on the outside, physically of earth, worldly things. Regardless, the spirit's supposed to go first, and everything else supposed to follow. But if we so busy worried about the world is doing so much, you ain't gonna have time to do what you supposed to do with your own individual of your own house, of your own mind, crown. Because if we're about emperor got to do with a crown. And now why is a crown be isolation when it's supposed to be unseen? That means this is royalty. This is divine purpose. And what are you inside for? It's the fight against your own spiritual battle. So it's like some exercise. And I think this may be divine being exercised, or is military. Which one is at the principalities of this world? So you choose which one, left and right. Seemed like the right ear would have to do with divine purpose when I first started. Alright. Now, it says, it was about the day of creates isolation, meditation. It says, some people who are silent have nothing to say. Now, that's meditation. Some people who are silent have nothing to say. Don't allow negative force to stop your light and your divine purpose in this world. As long as you got the protection of 144 of selected chosen, Starseed at that. Regardless of what these people doing, I mean, this got me happy. Let's go and do it. Now, if that is, you got different type of religions, chakras of people that do different things. I do everything. I'm not stuck. But if you're, as a person, fear, and you feeding fear all day, that's how you're gonna get a result. You got to fight for everything in this world, and if that's what it's gonna be, then you need to fight. Because, honey, all you do is bringing fear back to your own damn self if you're going to be negative all the time. Stay out of dark and bring the light. Do the job. You know what you're supposed to be doing out here. Nobody in here to tell you that. You already know it. Now, it says here advice. I think this advice. It said, make an effort. Interact more people. Develop your social skills. Didn't I say that in Virgo? Do you develop of your social skills. Don't use being alone as an escape. Being stuck in Chuck. Oh Lord, we talking about Chucky. Alright, you know what Chucky is about that? But got the crazy, his wife too. Remember his girlfriend, whatever that is. I gotta get that up out of here. My son like that stuff. A long time ago, I used to laugh at that stuff. When you old, you start changing your stuff. Yeah, you know, like I said. Anyway, stuck in Chuck. And it says, stay in touch with the perception of others. You know, when it said about perception, like perception, go figure out perception with Bob. I started that 11:29, 11:11, justice on justice. Now, come on, somebody, perception. You know, perception got to do with water. Precipitation is the water. I always think when it started raining when I was little, there was a clean the earth. But then now I see that we as individuals can do anything. Even a rocket can start water, as in precipitation. Long time ago, the water was the individual as a person. As Indian can start the water, it means start of the rain. It means the dancer. The person that is a dancer can start the rain. Also can start the lightning. Some things that before all this other in technology that are we was doing so much that we use all kinds of stuff, but some people individual can do all kinds of things without the science. Well, I can say it is science, which I would call it, but different things that we use now in technology. Because it seems like it's like nature and metals. And if they had to do with the biblical, that would have to do with the foot, had to do with iron, and it also had to do with sand, if that resonates to anybody. Now let's get on back in here. Now I say this, I do with perception. Perception is the ability. Ability is the able. You're able to cable. Cable has to do with cables. That also is able as a person visually is ability to do things themselves, individual. And cables got to do with something to do with metals that we use as physically what we use our hands. Okay. Understand, anything iron comes under the ground. And under the ground still is nature, if you understand that, because anything iron or anything is up under the ground. In order to get that metal, everything is the earth has to do with the world to see. Understand that. But ability is to see, visionary, hear, or become aware something through the senses. So that means somebody is your visionary and what you receive and become aware of something, like I was saying, of your natural instincts through senses of feelings. Now feelings has to do with emotional. Remember Scorpio and the moon, come on, and know we in Pisces. The normal limits to the human is the perception, and perception has to do as normal limits to the human perception. The perception of pain from abuse of power. Did not say abuse of power. The change needs to be changed when the mind has to be changed. And the mind, the spirit of light, will follow the soul of dark, not the soul in dark that's ahead of the spirit of light. Remember, that's all it is here in this world. Spirit in this light and dark here. This is all it was about. Perception. Now, it says here a way of regarding, understanding of interpreting. I call it interpret. It's like printing, or printing, like something in between. That's when somebody is trying to cause problem, and it's twined with something of a mental impression. That something is connecting and trying to it's like woven and coven. There it is, woven and coven. A mental impression. That means a cult. It's something, some type of paranoid activity of internet, or has to do with the matrix, the red and blue pill. And when it has to do with in mental impression, it tells you what it have on Google. Google got here, it say Hollywood or Hollyweird, or perception of taste of the American public. The wind, you see, the wind is one. It's like, then you know, got to do with some taste of the American public. And when you know that of taste got to do with somebody eating some. And you're not gonna talk about that. And then I say it had to do with the a hunt, or a veil has to do with a hunt, but it had nothing to do with the with that. It had to do with a beast. The beast has to do with something as an animal. And if you're gonna hunt, then you ain't. If you're not putting on your plate, then it's got to do with individual. This is about people that are, to me, it is hidden things of knowledge, and not to be shown what's really going on behind the scenes, and not to tell nobody. And but then it says right here, the Hollywood, they know all about this type of stuff. Go watch what they do. And if you go in there and watch that stuff, you say these people going through a lot. Different levels of devils. I need to write it down. When you Hollywood and Hollywood, they got to do with the devils of different levels. They call it Hollywood. I say entertainment. And to me, I can't too much talk about nobody. Ain't no judgment here. The judgment is the Most High, the source universal of laws. They ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm just being what I'm supposed to be. But all of that, I ain't judgment none of, because I listen to all that stuff. Because I listen to entertainment. But like I said, I do know what time it is, though. I ain't that crazy. Hell, I'm saying I'm woke. I'm wake. Ain't no woka. It's wakey. It's got to do with light and dark. You gonna choose this day, I choose light. I'm with what I'm supposed to, as far as how they feel about it. Like I said, it's a big old moon. The moon has got to do with her ass too. If you think that, I always say what I say. You gonna be in that big old moon. You can always slide all the way in that crack. And when you get in that crack, sometimes in those cracks and different things fall into these valleys and cracks. It's so too hard to get up out of there. Like I said, you get so deep. The only person gonna get you out is the person that brought you out and spoke you out. Get too deep, can't come out of it. Sometimes stay in the light. Alright. You know, it got to do with that butt. Butt got to do with booty. Booty got to do with commerce. It got to do with the world. You get too much all of this world, and you think you know so much, and you end up in a predicament. Think you can outdo somebody know you way ahead. Like I said, he don't need no help with it. He's good. The purpose is to know who you are. Know thyself. Know thyself. Don't have me in here preaching in here on 2 Timothy. Tell you about that 2 and 15. Since we on 15 and we talking about intuition, and 15 have to do with the devils and being unseen in this world. And I'm gonna give you something in here. Know thyself. You know thyself, then you can tell another person. But know thyself first. But don't stay isolated about to be seen out here in this world, because you're supposed to. Don't allow certain things hidden trying to come against you about your subconscious that you're supposed to be out here in life. You're already protected. So what you worried about? Don't be scared. Don't be fearmonger. Be light. Alright, so let's get back on here. This is part 2 of Scorpio. Scorpio got a lot. I ain't even done yet. Lord have mercy. Just doing my purpose. Now, levels of devils. Be discernment, appreciation, recognition, and realization. Cognizance and awareness. Cognizance has to do with subconscious. Okay, that means dreamers and anything hidden. And I think I started that and what that was about. Am I doing it right? Let me see. Okay, that has to do with your I call it, it says psychological, but I'm gonna get to it in a minute. So anyway, dreamers and dancers is the Pisces and Scorpio. others, however, feel dreams do serve various purpose, and it's ranging from mundane to the spiritual. It's a higher self. It's called benevolent. I call it benevolent. And being benevolent to me is a kindly type of individual. And they always smile. They always laugh and they're happy. Their laughter is the light. And you're come divine purposely been selected and chosen to be out here in this world, regardless of how negative forces are reign. You know, Google got to do with blue. Blue got to do with the visionary, okay? Visionary has to do with this. You can see it. It says Google surface it somewhere in results. Blue chakra has to do with the visionary, okay? It's about I'm out of line. It's not the it's not the visionary, but it is though. But it's really about the speak of throat. Please forgive me. It's the blue. Blue is the chakra. So chakra has to do with the blue. And it has to do with speaking and knowing that the throat. Then I think I started about with the fives. And 5 has to do with the Fifth Amendment. And that's about your speech. And this is saying like it's what you came out here, whatever vocal to be out here in this world. It's like you got some issues and got some verses of some things, some opponents, and I call it opponent. And it's a person on a game. You know, a game is trying to interfere of what your purpose in this life. Now, the next one is your domain authority increases. Okay, it gets easier for new content to rank. Now, this particular one, I'm moving too fast. So this one here has to do with number 6. The other one was about 2. 2 has to do with intuition. So you in this Google intuition, the Google surfaces means that have to do with your throat, but also is your intuition. Intuition has something about your head and your mouth. So tune in. What it is got to do with your communication. But your intuition means your two, like your antenna, like what downloaded to your intuition. Okay, that means your purple to me is about your purple going into your blue. Your purple is your crown. And then we're talking about emperor. Emperor got a crown. Okay, if it's a feminine or a masculine. Okay, about your throat, intuition, what you speak out here. And the next one is your domain authority increases. It gets easier for new content to rank. So that got to do with your heart. You know, heart has to do with the heartbeat. Okay, but it means unconditional love too. So if you're out here doing intuition and you downloading and then you giving communication and you coming out here being a domain authority, then giving you information that you have to have a strong heart, an unconditional heart. You know, unconditional heart has to do with unconditional love. That means that you ain't got no contrary. You know, contrary is something negative in a way. EMPATHS. It can also be something, the Most High, the Source, universal, know your unconditional love about your heart. Now, see, when the Most High can see you about your heart, He chose to select you to do things in this world. So He know who you are. Regardless of what the opposes and opponent other negative forces that come against the light. Okay? Now, I have another one here. It says the people discover and engage with it. I got another bunny here. So they let me know. You know, rabbit had to do with when they get so closer to me, they let me know that a bunny is not scared. You know, bunnies and rabbits, they always come and they can hear any little thing and they don't want to be close to you. But when they get so close by your feet, you're trying to get the carrot probably. but that means that the rabbit is safe and they know that you are not gonna harm it. Right? Stop eating a lot of meat, and I notice that I get closer to the animals. They know I'm not eating no meat, like I'm not coming against them. I know that the orange has to do with sacral. It's your chakras. Now, when you have to do with people, people got to do with your sacral of your chakras. They got a lot of information about that, but people is discover and engage with it. I mean, you know, this got to do with separation of a coven. You know, separation means something is of something that was connected to something. This is people separation and covering something hidden and engage with it. So that letting you know this ain't about, it's about people hidden, cover with cover and engage with it. Now the card behind it, and it had to do with this. That has to do with visionary seer, see through a hunt. Then you see how everything. Now I didn't even know that was behind that. You know, sometimes I do stuff and I don't even know what I'm doing. Like I say, I'm just, hey, I'm just in these energies is connected. This got to be visionary and a seer and can see through a hunt. That means this psychic medium can see through it all and be as a hunter, as another hunter. Because a hunter is a light and dark. The hunter is doing the light and doing divine purpose, and a hunter is a negative one and doing their purpose. So, like I said, it's light versus dark. Hey. So anyway, let's get back to this orange chakra. Now, I understand that the sacral had to do with powerful energy healing. Oh, baby. Now, let me get on here, because this is what I like. Oh, really? Now, you already know that healing is a person that is a healer. Now, this got to do with Scorpio and Moon rising, hidden on a Pisces, okay? And that's duality, and it has to do with emotions, meaning emotional has to do with water. This about healing. Now, this about the individual that you got powerful about your healing, about your part. I call it your priorities, meaning that you're powerful, who you are as a healer, as a waterer, emotional, feeling things, senses. Now, it's saying divine energies that you have, but it's about to awake your infinite divine creativity. Now, creativity has to do with magic. Magic has to do with the creativity, which is an individual, a person that's been gifted. Number one has to do with magician. Creativity. What you create is powerful. Now, that's a positive. You hear the bird? That's the red bird. That's a cardinal. Cardinal birds are normally for your ancestry or past loved one. Also, it can be as a cardinal. Cardinal also has to do with carnal, has to do with hidden thing, occult. Oh, okay, and it can be hidden. So go read about with the cardinal and the red bird. Also, sacral. Let's talk about sacral. If it's healing, if they know of a light, the negative forces of narcissistic, that means they know you about your healing abilities, about who you are, of divine energies. Either they know that you have it, or this is something hidden about the awakening of an individual divine purpose. So if you know that, they either want to use the healing of your sacral, of your chakras. That means sometimes you have to find out what's to protect you of the gifts that's been given. So the fight is, to me, is to fight and protect, even though we got the protection from the Most High, Source, and Universal. And universal supposed to be to it's unconditional love. Okay, that's what I'm understanding. Here come, they gonna get closer. Either they want me to shut up, but here come the card on in. And they let me know that somebody watching. Now let's get back on here. They're either using it for your sacral healing, or you have to find a way to protect your sacral of your orange chakra. Okay. And it says right here, one's own self. Now that means you have to protect your own stuff about your own of your okay, got another one. I got another cardinal, but this one is to me, two of them like that. That means there's some type of twins. When you see them both like that, and they different, but they the same and the same. That has to do with maybe somebody have some type of twin, or masculine or feminine, divine masculine and divine feminine. It got some type of when you see like that, you're gonna see something that has to do with marriages, or something that is supposed to connect or not to, or somebody is coming against each other of the same. Maybe some things that you may know somebody or knew that y'all didn't get along at a point in time, but I'm seeing them, those birds together, they flock together. One left, and here comes the other one. It's like the chaser. Maybe this has a lot to do with something dark and light. Maybe it's a light, a divine, and a divine dark. However, if that resonates to anybody, these two lovebirds, there go the other one. You see, they different of their song, or whatever they say. They told different. Now let's get back on here. I seen that had to do with the mantra seed. That had to do with the syllable. The syllable had to do with vamp. Now, going with this orange chakra, you got to be careful and watch about your own self, about your protection, about your your healing. Because if somebody's trying to use it, we got to watch this about that vamp. Vamp is a person that's up. All right, that's energy. Okay. All these, man, I got bees all on me. I mean, they like that honey. When I say juicy fruit, somebody like your juice. If that's resonate to somebody. It says with and without surrounding of consonants of forming. You know, consonants forming is a whole part of a let's say of a what? I be right now. You know, a word. It's a whole part of a word. Remembering of a living word, meaning that this got to do with living. About your sacral, your orange chakra of your sacral, and it has to do with you. So something is something that somebody suck. You got somebody that like to, either they like it down low, down between the low, or they just need your energy. All right, let's get back in here. Meaning the word is a living word. Obstruction is the vocal tract. Let's get on here. This is very important about this. When I went in here and I put on information about different things, about questionings of everything. It has to do with consonants forming or something surrounded, and it had to be of obscure. It's obstruction. You know, that's old. OB has to do with a woman. Okay? And it also, I hate to say that, but OB, they used to be tampons. Okay? Now, let's get it. Excuse me, masculine. Right now, I'm talking about the feminine. Let's talk about the feminine. Okay? OB got to do with tampons. Oh, if this got some problems, it got to do with that orange, and it got to do with healing. It got to do about what comes out. You know, you about the coming in the walls. This got something to do with the walls. Didn't I talk about that in Virgo? They have to do with the tilt. You know, the moon is tilt. I mean, they say the earth is tilt. Earth is got to do with woman. So if a woman is tilt, now some of these, you know, I ain't heard being what's good and not. Go figure out what a feminine is a tilt, as that tilt is good for what or not. What's good and what's bad. You go figure out positive and negative. But to me, this got to do with a tilt. This got to do OB. That has to do the insides of the walls. Wells of walls. Okay? Teach his own. Now, I think I did something else about another video. I think it was Pisces that had something to do with the wall. Got to do with something in walls, and it had to do with divine masculine. Either they trying to blackball you, or they trying to blackball you. That means two things. It's a positive and negative. Well, no, this is too negative. Either they trying to blackball you in negative thought and what they thinking or what they trying to do across us to versus opponent each other, men and women going against each other, or this particular about a wall got to do with something is Lord have mercy. I don't know about this, boy. I don't know about it. It's just like it's your healing parts. This is about feminine now. But this, like I say, I'm just giving out what I do know. But with that it has to OB has to be tampons. But it has to do with the healing part. You might have some issues with your OB in your walls. That has to do with your veve. That means the veve. You know, vagina has to do with Venus and has to do with Virgin. And like I said, it has to marry. And Mary has to do with Mary and May. You may need a little bit of chronic. What they call it, Mary Jane. Mary is Mary. You know, now you can now some of them you can eat and put it in everything. It's good for mental. So this is for you, maybe, but also it has to do with that is some healing and some vocal things is going on. And it could be that it's something causing problems with your consonant of formation. It has to do with something to do with your healing track and your vocal track. It means something that is pronounced as it's a flow of it. Oh. Either something is healing is either you about to have birth, or the juices are flowing, or maybe you get into the age where you're not getting the flowing, where you stopping your of your cycle. All right, maybe going in the midlife of stuff. Maybe you coming from where you were able to have kids and you're not. It's a lot of things going on here. But to me, it got to do with your air. Air has to do with your voice. I mean, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. Okay? There's a lot of things going on in here. Number 5. 5 has to do with when I say speech. And when it's coming, the 5th of element, they give you a lot of information. It's mean a lot of also freedom, curiosity. Meaning has to do curiosity has to do with the lioness in a Leo, 5th house. Meaning of change, mean transformation, meaning high energy and excitement. Now if that got to do with OB, either excitement and high energy, that got something to do. Either you must be like, was that the last one I did? I think that was Virgo. You might might got some problems. Maybe you're not able to get yourself excitement of high, not get into the clouds. Like, I think what was a movie called Tyler Perry with praise, who for the praise. And baby, maybe you need what the woman said. She was getting closer because she was drinking alcohol. It seemed like she wasn't getting anything, but let me move on. If you're not getting excitement, mean that you're not having any sexual activity. Some of you, I guess whoever Scorpio, Scorpio. If y'all know anything about sex, Scorpio is the what? Scorpio, you got Scorpio in your own natal chart in your zodiac. Go figure out about that. Go on astrology and get some information about Scorpio. Scorpio is very high sexual activity. Now, if a Scorpio ain't getting their business, it's because they in isolation. They got hurt from somebody. Because for them, baby, it's like you mess with a Scorpio, you ain't gonna leave them alone. Mess with a Scorpio, you ain't gonna leave them alone. I'm telling you, you ain't gonna be like, or whoever do that. I don't know how you did it. Because when you mess with them Scorpio, Lord have mercy. Baby, if I'm going to be honestly, I'm going to be real. Deep fourth. I am screaming. Woo, child. You mess with Scorpio, well, good luck, baby. I don't know how y'all got through with that because, honey, they ground it out. Hello. Moving on. Let me move on. Soulmates. And now we go back in soulmates, and it's about the angel number 5. Relationship is deepened with someone you love. Since we on sacrals come from that. You see what I'm saying? They're talking about these little birds, these love birds right now. And with it is a period of adversity. Now this is the adversary every city, but has adversary. Now, if this particular butterfly, it's a black one, y'all. I got bees, butterflies, rabbits, and lovebirds going on outside this pear tree. Okay, let me tell you, pear tree tells you everything. It tells you the beginning of all of it. It tells you when you tell the kids about the pear tree and everything else, and the turtle doves. But now transformation of spring. It's a beautiful thing. It's a twin partner. Now you got some adversary with your divine partner. Now I don't know what to tell you about this. I started with that, and I said I wanted to back up because I thought I knew a little bit of something. But when I figured out there's some things you got energies that they don't too much. You got another masculine may have dark tendencies that not there in the light. Some of them that do too much dark, not in isolation and be thought too much and not trying to be out here to do the part because they didn't got hurt. But to my understanding, it's a black butterfly. Oh, black butterfly. That got to do with the song, and I'll get it in a minute. When I'm doing my business, sometimes I try not to cut, but we'll go back to that black butterfly. Denise Williams, that's where it is. Now, you got to have a adversary with your masculine, divine masculine. I don't know what to tell that. Like I said, they got to come out of that. Now, I can't do nothing to tell you how to do that. That's what you're going to deal with or not. It's up to you. When you're divine feminine, you don't have to go through all that. Okay? It don't have to be a twin. It could be a partner or a soul. It could be anybody to connect. If you're not with the twin, then you could be a soul or a partner. That you don't have to deal with no twin. It's somebody for you. Okay? If they're not ready, that's not ready. Don't push or try to make a person be with you and they don't want you. And they don't want to be seen to tell you who they are and hiding behind it. They don't want you to know it. Leave their ass in there. Move on. Now, I can't tell you what to do, but I'm saying if you want to deal with it, that's your business. I'm not no judge. I'm just saying you deal with all that type of stuff like that and you can't see it. There's an alarm here. Let's talk about let's talk about this real quick. It's narcissistic, narc, either alcoholic, cocaine, isolation, and didn't know how to communicate to another divine feminine, okay? I don't know what to tell you. Okay. If you can't see it, it ain't real. Till the person is hidden, has to get theyself up and come out of isolation and to be in the world and to meet you in light. If this divine masculine is doing behind the scenes, then understand that's not even a marriage. That means a fraudulent. It ain't even real until this divine masculine get up, come out to isolation, and a Scorpio, and with new moon rising in a Pisces, this particular one, like I said, be careful about them Scorpio. They dig deep. This person here, if you didn't mess with them, honey, I don't know about that. But if what I can say, they got to come out first. So how can you be connected to something that's hidden that ain't even real until they come out in the light to see who they really want? That's why I'm saying about all that. That is like how can I say this? It ain't even real until they come in the light. Hidden only works in the light. Moving on. If that's a divine masculine, divine feminine. And I already told you about the two partners and divine twins. If it ain't coming to the light, it ain't real. Until they get up and get out of isolation. Now going back to this great teacher. Now I'm gonna move on because I can go. It's the great teacher. Alright? And learn from the spiritual experiences. Meaning when you're going through this divine twin thing with feminine and masculine, it's just the experience. Here they go again. It's just the experience. And don't come against it because it's just the experiment. It's the experiment. If that is lab, technology, or divine purposely. Which one? Choose this day. Which one is heavens or earth? Which one is? Okay. Going to the next. This one says Lord. Lord has to do with take change with authority. You know, authority. Being as the individual and head of your house and of your faith. Next one is a knight. Okay. Be brave and honest. Okay. So that means that the great teacher is the spirit of source, universal of the Most High. And that the Lord has to do with it means a leader, authority. Authority has to do with a Lord. Lord has to do with the emperor. Today is number 4. So that's about an emperor. It means take change. And take change and be taken. It's yours, individual. That means authority. Okay? I mean empower, achievement, or whatever you're doing. Okay? Business. Come on, somebody. And you see it was all that green. Green got to do with well. You see that in there? Well. Okay? And night is a person that's a protection. Okay? But it is be brave and honest. So you got be brave. First of all, you seen it was a spirit. Spirit has to do with a dove. Dove is something downloaded to you, right? That's been given from the sun. I mean the light. Then the next one is a person is an emperor.